We have a huge NHL trade to discuss. JT Miller has finally been moved. He's on his way back to the Big Apple. We'll discuss the deal coming up next. Well, welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have some significant breaking news in the NHL. The JT Miller trade has finally happened, and it's where we thought he would go all along, and the most regarded team, the New York Rangers. Of course, Miller has history there. We knew based on reports that he would likely waive his no-move clause to become a member of the Rangers again. And, well, now we have a deal. These two teams, Vancouver and New York, have discussed this trade over many days, many different scenarios. It came very close to happening before. Now we finally have a deal. So here are the details. So JT Miller is going to the New York Rangers, and going along with them as defenseman Erik Brannstrom and defensive prospect Jackson Dorrington. So that's three pieces going from Vancouver to New York. Miller, Brannstrom, and Jackson Dorrington. In return, the Vancouver Canucks receive Filip Chytil, of course, a young centerman himself, Victor Mancini, and a protected first round pick. I don't have the full details on the protection. My guess is, though, that it's top 5, top 10 protected, something along those lines, that if it falls in a certain spot, the Rangers will have the right to defer another year and keep their pick. Obviously, that's just to make sure they don't end up in the draft lottery and get lucky and then have to lose that pick. That's a common thing here. So the New York Rangers are getting themselves a player who last year's 100-point guy, is obviously very much driven, and a guy who can go to war with your team. Certainly somebody who can be wear on his teammates too. Clearly, we know about all the stuff we've heard in the Canucks dressing room, the drama. But you know what? It really boils down to the players and who he connects with and who he doesn't. It's kind of unfortunate things unfolded the way that it did in Vancouver, because really, you don't have to like your teammates. You don't have to go out to dinner with them. You don't have to invite them over to your house after the game. But can you coexist in the dressing room? Can you coexist on the ice for the common goal of winning hockey games and hopefully winning a championship? Most people can put their differences aside unless they're really deep, and we don't really know if they run really deep or not, or what happened there. But from what we had heard, it's essentially that Miller was hard on Pettersson. Pettersson didn't like it, and that's all we've really ever heard. I don't know, and maybe over time, now that they're going to be separated, maybe we'll learn more as time goes on here. But the JT Miller Vancouver Canuck drama is done with. He's now off to the New York Rangers, along with Erik Brannstrom, Jackson Dorrington, in exchange for Filip Chytil, Victor Mancini, and a protected first round pick. So in all honesty, I think the Rangers here for a guy that's in his early 30s, 100-point player, lots of experience, lots of playoff experience. I think they paid a pretty good price here. And Vancouver had already set up the narrative through the Globe and Mail article with Jim Rutherford that they were probably not going to get a significant return because of the fact of how much stuff was public, and everybody knew they were trading from a position of weakness here. So obviously Chytil's a pretty good centerman. He will help the Canucks, but he's not, at least at this point in his career, has not produced anywhere near the production that Miller has. So from that perspective, they don't get better. But at the same time, if you look at Miller and Pettersson and how they've done this year, because of this drama and this whatever's been going on, it's affected them both deeply. And hopefully now they can both move on and both get back to playing hockey the way that they're both capable of, because it's had a major impact on that whole Canuck room. We keep hearing that Pettersson could be moved too. We don't know about Brock Besser's future, but at least now we know what's going on with JT Miller. He's on his way back to the Big Apple. Let me know your thoughts on this trade down in the comments. We'll discuss further. If you're new to the channel, of course, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We'll keep you up to date with all the news, rumors, and analysis of all 32 NHL teams. I do have another video coming a little bit later that I just finished recording before this trade was announced with the rest of today's news, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.